So you have you.
Hey y'all, this is Belle Antoinette and Méchant Chatan, and we are continuing the adventure we started on our channel. And what I was about to say is that I hate it when liberal dudes play this super fun game where it's not sexist if it's a conservative woman I'm talking about. So, we get years and years of jokes about Ann Coulter being like skinny and childless and getting older as she gets old. And it's like, can we talk about her being like a far right racist fascist? Can we talk about that? Or no, let's talk about her legs. Ew.
Yeah. And it's like those are things she can't change, you know what I mean? That's her body. Her body isn't the problem. I don't care about Anne's legs. I care that she thinks racism isn't real.
Right.
Sis, that's my beef.
Exactly.
I,
or that I'm pretty
I want
sure
to
she's
say
of
this
the
though,
belief that
right?
black people are legitimately less intelligent, like on a biological
I'm,
level. That's like a bigger problem for me than her cheekbones.
I'm pretty sure I saw her have a meltdown about Santa Claus being white or something, which is funny.
No, that was
But
Megan
I just
Kelly. Wrong
making
Missy
Kelly
White.
that was so funny to me. I'm like, sis, Santa
Santa
Claus,
is white. He's also
calm down.
imaginary, Miss Ma'am. He's imaginary too,
Simmer down.
girl.
He was doing way too much. It was like, girl, and I
She
have
was
never
really
seen
crying.
anything less deep than this. Like, who gives a shit? Like, people are starving in the street right now, by the way. You're on here literally crying about Santa Claus. Like,
Apparently,
let's
he's
get
her
it
children's
together.
hero. Their literal hero.
Yeah.
Him and his white face. They showed him what they can be when they grow up.
Okay, well, your kids now know their mom is a liar, so congrats. My mom never lied to me about.
Neither
Let me
did
stop.
mine.
No,
my,
but
my mom
I
was
do
like,
want to
you know
say
who
this
pays
though,
for
right?
Christmas presents? Your mom doing the very best she can.
I just want to point this out real quick because there's this pretty valid criticism about like liberals, and I don't really consider myself left or right. I consider myself liking some things from each, but
Yeah.
pretty much hating people on both sides a
Yeah.
whole lot. Um, there's a valid criticism about them where they literally look for things to be offended by because it's like cool to be oppressed. So
Yeah.
when we talk about racism and sexism, it's not because we're having a blast. I would genuinely love to live in a world where I didn't have to deal with racism and sexism. And in fact, sometimes I wake up and I forget it's a thing, and then I go to the store and someone sexually harasses me or calls me a bitch, and I'm like, oh yeah, people don't like women. So
Right.
I
Man,
do
I almost
forget
had to
sometimes
fight a
till I
white
leave my
woman at the
house.
hair store one time. She really
Oh, yeah,
wanted like
yeah,
walked around me
yeah.
while I was checking out and was like, "Could you go ahead and check my things out? I only have a few things." I almost put the pause on that woman. I looked over at the checkout lady and I said, "I double dog dare you. Go ahead, move my stuff aside, and start checking this bitch out right in front of me. Go
I
for
had this lady the other day get mad because she didn't want to share the sidewalk. Like her and her three friends were walking. They're all on a sidewalk next to a busy street. And I don't exactly know what they expected me to do other than continue to walk. But she got annoyed because we brushed shoulders because they decided to walk through me or something.
Yeah, if you walk into me, then we
And
collide. That's how that goes.
I'm just like, so I don't know what year you think it is, boo boo, but it's
Right.
not Jim Crow era. You,
Where you
it
gotta
ain't
go
off the
diving into the
sidewalk
street.
with you,
Like,
ho. I will sooner shove your ass off the sidewalk into traffic. Don't play with me, especially this week. I'm PMSing. I might shove you in front of a car. Don't do me. Don't play in my face. So she I
sometimes
guess
they make
was
it such a thing just to
upset.
walk down the street.
It's like sis, just share the sidewalk. Don't be weird. If you're gonna be weird, stay in your house.
Right. And if there's like four of y'all can't all be spread out next to each other holding hands. Y'all gonna have to get in single
No,
file, okay?
no. Look, pretend we're driving. Stay in your lane.
You
I
can't
will
have all those.
shoulder check an elderly person. Okay, I don't
Oh,
give a
I'll
shit.
shoulder check in a minute. And you've met me in person. I got big shoulders.
Don't do it. Let me
Like
walk the
I'm five
beast.
nine and my
I'm
shoulders are
not
broad.
I'm not stepping into the street because you're
No,
white. We're not doing that. That's goofy. So
it is.
don't try.
And like these people who want to sort of make up fake
Annoying.
oppression,
Yeah.
like this
Right.
imaginary oppression, like that tries every bit of my energy. And also what tries my energy is when people accuse other women doing random stuff, just living their lives, of somehow oppressing you. Like I'm really oppressing you in your mom's basement or wherever you at with my lipstick. Because
Yeah.
well, it's contributing to the idea that like in order to be like beautiful and acceptable society, women have to look a certain way. So every single woman that's wearing makeup is contributing to the idea that
Here's
women
my
need to be pretty.
here's my favorite.
Let's
And
all band
for
together so that you feel less ugly. Let's all get together and we'll do the same thing, right?
as far as I see, it's mainly black women getting heat for this. So funny. So they were saying we are vain because we don't want to have monkeypox.
Oh, that they started that?
Oh, you didn't see that bullshit?
No.
It's mainly
See, I
them
need to stop being surprised.
them talking about they try to bring it into us trying to fit into white beauty standards and being
So not
self-centered
being literally pockmarked is the
because
Caucasian beauty standard. I thought that's where they had the whole last plague.
no, they're saying, okay, look, they're trying to say that trying to look nice at all is white supremacy, basically. Not wanting giant, painful ass bumps
Blisters
all over
all
your
over
face
yourself.
makes you vain. And you know what?
And by
I'll
the
be
way, not
that.
only
Oh
are
no,
those
be
on the
that.
surface of your skin, they're also on the inside. Like Exelanzic was talking about it causing like brain issues and stuff and encephalitis and your brain get the swelling because them things are the monkeypox is like that's on the surface is in there too, girl.
I'm gonna just say this right now. Even if none of that were true and it didn't hurt and it just made you ugly, I still wouldn't want it. And you can go ahead and call me vain, I'll be that. Why would I want a bunch of shit all over my face?
Yeah, I'm
Who
like a fan of
actually
not
wants
being
that?
ugly.
I'm not about to fake for y'all. And the people saying that to us wouldn't want it on them either. So
No,
like stop the cap, please.
these people say all of this
Pretty
stuff
please.
and it's just so that they can get in some sort of a contest to try to be like better than other people.
Yeah.
Like I earlier I saw like a bunch of people on this post of this woman who got some kind of like a skin treatment so that her skin would be clear and she didn't need to waste the time with makeup. And these same people who made all these posts about how like makeup is a waste of time were now like, well, this is harmful because maybe it's got these in it or something, or it's like expensive, or it's a waste of time or something, or who knows? Maybe 10 years down the line, this treatment could cause cancer. Okay, it
I have a
sounds
question
like
though. Would these women and the straight ones who are doing it especially, usually the ones who feel they are unattractive are the ones picking on women they see as conventionally attractive. Why is it that these women, the men they have a crush on, their celebrity crushes are all handsome? How
yeah,
come the men they
smooth
have
even
crushes
skin.
on in real life don't have a face full of huge cystic acne, bad breath, and yellow teeth? Hmm?
Right.
Is it because you're shallow? Cut the shit.
I mean, it's so nonsensical. And, you know, not wanting to deal with ugly people
Like
is a pretty
seriously.
universal trait. It's not like, even if you were to go and literally find some of these tribes out in the Amazon somewhere and you would just present them with two people, one of whom like had monkeypox or the mange or something, and the other of whom didn't, and ask them who they think is more beautiful, what answer you think they're gonna give
Like
you?
disease has nothing to do with the beauty of people. I'm sure there are plenty of beautiful people with horrible diseases. Okay. So
Sure.
no one wants to like, and I'm sorry to offend someone, but I feel like it's true though. Like if you're looking for a partner and you have a bunch of terrible diseases in your family's bloodline, and so does he, y'all will both be very concerned about having kids and what they would inherit.
Well, I
right?
mean, you
Is that
might
not
be,
true?
or kids might exist primarily as an accessory to you, so you not be concerned about
Yeah.
any of this.
But I've seen that said, like I've heard people literally say, "Oh, my family has this disease and I didn't want to pass it on, so I
Yeah,
didn't have kids. My whole family dies at age 50, so I didn't want to have kids." Like I've heard
right.
that. I've heard
Yeah.
people say that. And you can call that vain that they don't want their kids to have a disease, or you can. That
Well, because
or
also the
they
alternative sounds
right?
crazy. Because I remember Sarah Silverman was talking about wanting to adopt a kid with a terminal illness. And everyone was like,
Mm,
"Oh!" And then she was like, "Well, you could try out the whole parenting thing, then you're done in a few years." And everyone just went dead silent
right.
because they couldn't tell if that was supposed to be a joke or if she was like, or she just is a sociopath. Like they weren't really sure what happened. And it was one of those like morning mommy shows. It wasn't during like a comedy special or something. So like, you know, everybody's like got their like breakfast cocktails. They just looking at her at that point. Like not wanting healthy kids is
See what I said
strange.
about comedy? This is what I was saying. It's not comedy anymore. It's not funny. It's just mean.
Yeah. And like, who makes the butt of their joke dying children, you weirdo? And especially in that kind of a venue. Like, it was one of those like morning mommy shows, you know what I mean? Like, I forget exactly which one of it was, but it was like a daytime thing, like a Kelly, like, and Regis type environment. I remember that. And it was just like, know that a lot of people who are watching this are sitting somewhere with their kids. Some of them are sitting around with their terminally ill kids. Why would
Right.
you say that? Like, if that was supposed to have been a joke. Like parents of small children definitely don't find small children jokes funny ever.
Exactly. And
Most people
honestly, it's the
don't, but
same thing
especially
of
people who actually have kids.
it's the same thing as like saying women are shallow for not wanting to date short men, even though there's literally biological reasons why a woman would want to be with a strong man and a man would want to be with a woman he feels like is young and fertile. Like it's all
Yeah.
I know it
And
sounds like
also,
bullshit,
most
but
men want to be with women that are
literally it's
smaller than them. Like, as a woman who's 5'9" and has had plenty of guys be like, "Oh man, you're gorgeous," but like after a day or two, be like, "Oh, it just feels kind of awkward," because I'm just like looking up there at you.
like if
Like,
we start being honest about the reason every animal mates, it's with the intention of having children.
yeah,
And the mom, just talking about the animal kingdom that we're literally a part of, generally is not expected to be the protector of the household, right? It's the
no,
man. That's why women are attracted to men who are stronger and bigger so they can freaking protect you if someone breaks into your goddamn house. If there's a big ass fire in the house, are you gonna catch it or are you gonna call your husband? Right? Like I get it, right? Um, we're feminists, but we can also admit that a
and
lot of the
also women
reasons
have
we're attracted to
babies.
certain things is biological reasons.
Yeah,
And it's not wrong to admit that if that you just like you're attracted to a beautiful flower, you'd be attracted to a beautiful face. That's not wrong to
yeah.
admit.
And like I think I
That
read
feels
somewhere that
fair.
like no fruits that are sweet are also poisonous.
Hmm. Also, did you know that babies like people they consider pretty more? I mean, it's just literally a thing. Like
Yeah.
they
I
like
mean, the same way
looking
that
at
like
you.
larger animals sometimes
Um,
find smaller animals cuter. Like elephants find us cute, and like we find kittens cute, and like also babies.
even things in terms of like your voice, like you can be attracted to someone who has a really nice voice. That's a thing. Like you go out with a guy who's really handsome and then he opens his mouth and he talks like Elmo. Are you gonna marry him? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, be
No,
honest. So it's
that's
just
only
like,
like the that's only like the number two reason I wouldn't marry Mike Tyson, but it made the top five.
and it's like, well, why wouldn't you? Well, think about lions, right? A lion with a big lion with a tiny roar isn't really gonna convince anyone he can do anything. You're gonna have a pride.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, because you just laughed
come
at that.
on.
Like, okay, like wow, like, ooh,
And those
kitty.
are very basic things. Those are things for, and
Yeah.
I'm specifically saying this in terms of people who are actually sexually attracted to other people.
Yeah.
Um, how people look doesn't matter on more than just some superficial level. A lot of times facial symmetry is also a like whistle for help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like a lot of different ailments cause asymmetry in the face, like strokes tend
Right.
to, and like Guillain-Barré syndrome and things like that, like different sorts of like paralysis. Like recently, Justin Bieber had some sort of an issue with like a really serious like infection or something like that that caused
Mhm.
half his face to be all droopy. So I mean, if
And
you looked at
people
him and you felt like
people
something was off, you would have correctly identified that something had happened to him, health wise.
and it's the same thing with hair, right? A lot of times when people are ill, their hair gets thin, their hair falls out. So this whole, oh, why does everyone want thick, long hair? Well, it is pretty representative of health, yeah? If
Yeah.
your hair is thick, right? So, you know, hair color, if your hair going white, people will generally be able to basically assume what age range you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of things. Like, come on. So that's also another reason why I think it's inherently creepy that a lot of men are obsessed with women being completely hairless because
Yeah.
the only women or females completely hairless are minors
Girls,
and
they're
babies.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find that very weird. That's one thing I
Well, and
will
I
agree with
also
with
think,
feminists on that the shaving thing, even though I myself, I s- I rarely shave my legs. But I do shave the reason I shave my armpits is because I'm less hot. I don't like to scratch it. It's itchy. I don't like it. So I shave my
yeah,
armpits. Has nothing to do with men or nothing. I just like being less hot in the summer and sweating less, period. I don't really care. Call me, I don't know, say I don't know, some whore or whatever you guys are doing these days. But
right.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm like, I can agree with that, but I also understand them
And also, a
in a
lot of that
sense
is
where they're
society
saying
stuff
the
because
yeah,
like
like
it's a very
yeah,
recent thing, this whole like, women shaving their whole bodies thing. Like women
so
had hairy legs and hairy
razors.
armpits until like 20 minutes ago. Like what was it, like the
Yeah,
40s,
wasn't it
maybe
till like this?
50s?
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
later even. I thought it was like
Well, I
50,
think that's
60.
when those things came out, disposable razors or
Yeah,
whatever. But I think it
razors,
didn't
yeah.
become really common until like after, until like the maybe 70s. Like it wasn't a thing before like World War II that women just did that all the time. Like that's
Yeah,
why
I mean,
women wore stockings because
there's a
they had
reason
hairy
men
legs.
are so obsessed and crying over their beards that don't connect and their receding hairlines because it shows either a lack of health or they feel less manly or it shows
Yeah,
that they're
or
getting
it
older
shows
if
that
they're
they're getting older because as
or
what
sick.
causes that to happen is like your testosterone gets lower as you get older and like all
Mhm.
that kind of thing. So it's just like when women decide to take testosterone, they start growing beards. When men get less of it, they get less beards. That's how that goes. Um, Not a total one-to-one correlation, but it's like pretty strong, and people sort of subconsciously associate masculinity with that for like a reason.
Yeah. Oh
Because I mean,
yeah.
it's a male secondary sex characteristic, so of course you're going to associate masculinity with it.
Yeah. As much as I am able to stand on my own and I really don't do a single thing in my life for men, I don't really think about them at all. Still, that being said, I live in a reality where I am not as strong as a man. So when it comes time to move my heavy ass furniture that I obviously cannot move by myself, I'm gonna call my brother, I'm gonna call friends, cousins, my sister's boyfriend. Come move this big ass couch, come move this big ass dresser. I cannot do it. I'm not gonna be nice about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bring you and your man hands and your truck and come move this shit. Period. Because y'all annoy me every other day of the week. So come be useful. This is the reason I speak to y'all.
Oh God, one of my male friends was calling me and like he'd done
So,
like a photo shoot or something with like a woman, and he was like complaining about how he felt like he did more of like the physical labor of moving things around to get it set up than her, but like she was more tired than
no
him at the end of
shit.
it. And I was like, Princess, because you're a man.
Yeah, maybe it
That's
has
you're
something to
you're
do with the
stronger.
The stronger ligaments, longer limbs, stronger bones.
And this guy like benches weight, like he works out. Like,
Maybe.
sir,
Maybe
like
you
you're a
literally
whole
being
man that works
stronger.
out. Yeah. So of course, if you're stronger, it's just less work for you to do the same thing. And
Like,
he was like,
no
I
shit, buddy.
guess. But he's also someone who he's gay, and I've gotten in some of these like dumb conversations about gender stereotype stuff because he's under the like illusion that if you're not a masculine man, you're somehow not in any other in every other way male.
Honestly, that's like, I won't get into it here. I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
But I will just say one thing I really, really dislike. I have no issue with gay men, but I dislike the type of gay men who are willing to fight women and stuff. It's like just because you're not a man's man doesn't mean your punch can't literally send a woman to the hospital. Please just fight other men. I don't
Right.
care how much y'all have in common, you're still stronger. Don't do that.
Right.
I'll
Like,
just leave it at that. That's not,
we could
I hate
have
that.
all kinds of conversations about hair and nails and whatever else, but one thing we can't relate
Like,
on
what's his
is
name?
actual
Saucy
physical
Santana.
reality.
I
Yeah.
saw him like threatening women on Twitter once, and I was like, what is your big man ass doing right now?
Right.
So if you
Jeffree
saw
Star was
this,
doing that too.
right,
Like,
and I'm like, the average woman is 5'5", and a lot of women are like 5'2" walking around here that you're arguing with online. If you saw them, you could probably flick them away. So
yeah,
I don't think it's cute that you're threatening to punch them in the face, actually.
no.
I don't find
And
that amusing.
and like also that's so obnoxious and infantile anyway. Cause like, why are you a grown adult threatening to fight anybody on the internet? Like,
Right?
let's talk about that. Cause I
What
don't
are
think
we
either of us have
doing?
ever done that ever.
No.
Even when I get real irritated. No, thank you.
When's the last time? I'm trying to think. Last time I got in a fight, like a fist fight, maybe I was 12. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was like
I don't.
maybe 17, but none
I don't.
since I've been an adult.
I don't fight a lot of people. I cuss people out pretty good. And if someone, like if a guy threatens me, I call my brother, pretty much. And if some woman who's like huge threatens me, I call Susan. Susan got Susan got hands, okay? She'll take your ass out. I'll be like, all right, let me call my sister. See you still talking all that shit. Okay? Like
Well, I've gotten into
she will
arguments since
toss
I've
you
been
like
an
a
adult,
football.
but like I'm like 5'9". So what winds up happening is I get into an argument, I get face to face with this person. Because I'm 5'9", what I mean is their face is right around my chest. Then they change their mind and we don't have a fight.
Well, what typically happens with me is like I've said this before and some people don't believe me, but like I'm pretty quiet. Like I'm talkative and I'm loud and whatever with friends and people I know and like, but like it takes like I always have to just feel shit out before I start doing something. So in school, I always sit in the back of the class. I'm always in the back of the bus. I'm always quiet. So when there were girls who had an issue with me who were like trying to fight me, it was never because somebody didn't said. Literally,
It was
anytime
always
people
because of
like
something I said. I'm loud.
no, 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 literally, like there would be like I remember my friend Ebony and my friend Megan or whatever with me, and this girl Tiffany came to me and was like, she was trying to fight me in lunch, and I was just like, what? Like I was like, what did I do? And so Ebony was like, I'm gonna fight you because Ebony's like, no one's gonna fight you. You don't do anything. I'm like, I know. I was just sitting in a chair. Like, it's crazy. So it's always like that weird jealousy shit, the pretty privilege shit. I didn't realize that what it was until I got some fucking self-esteem. Then I was like, oh, they're mad at my face. And then I really understood that in college when
Yeah. Oh
I
my
shit
gosh.
you not,
That was
right?
like a
I remember
nightmare.
this
I
this
had to
I'll never
basically give
forget
up
this.
on like female friends for a minute there because I was just having women problems
Girl,
in college.
they were trying to vote me out as a sorority, but it didn't matter because I was already transferring. So I was like, fuck y'all, y'all ain't gonna get to vote me out. I'm transferring anyway, bitches. But here's why, right? Apparently one time I was in the dorm room with two of my sorority sisters and like three boys that they liked. And we were drinking, we were playing like drinking games or whatever. And I was like, girl, I was twisted. I was like, when people were talking to me, I wasn't understanding what they were saying. I was just like, yeah, okay. hmm So I was just doing a lot of and head nodding. Apparently, at some point in that night, one of the guys, Mary, really had a crush on. They were playing some Would You Rather game,
Oh
and it was
no.
the question between would he rather make out with Mary or Sam, and he said he'd like to make out with me, and I wasn't even an option. And so they both were really pissed about that. So then at this meeting they threw where they were voting to kick me out of the sorority, they were like, you're dressing nice and whatever, and you're flirting with our boyfriends. And I was just like, y'all got boyfriends? I flirted with someone? I was so confused. I was like, first of all the boys in this school are ugly. Secondly, when? Like, I don't even talk to people. What the fuck? So
Well, you could easily get accused of
that's
flirting
my
just for being
privilege?
pretty and not
No,
frowning.
absolutely. Yep.
Like you
Which is
smiled,
why, which
flirting.
is why I don't be smiling at men in public because I know what happens.
Yes, and
I know what happens. Then they
you can't
come,
even be halfway friendly unless you'd like them
yeah,
to
nope.
follow you home.
Yeah. Like there's this one cashier at CVS. Every time I see him, I'm like, nope, self cash out. I will wait in this line for 10 minutes before I go down. He's so annoying. Like he'll be like bagging my shit slow as hell, and I'm just like, come on. Does this work for you? Like, do women be like, oh my God, you work at CVS. Here's my number. Why are you flirting with me now? I know that you work at CVS and you're like 30 something. I don't
Yeah,
know. Like, I probably would not do that. Just
no,
personally.
no,
I don't know. Maybe it's just
no.
me.
I don't think I would either. Like,
It's probably,
because
yeah,
I'm trying to
no.
think, did
Like,
that ever go well for me?
I
And
mean,
no,
most, like, from a guy's point of view, I would think most women dating a guy in his 30s probably wants to get married and have kids at some point, and you work for like $9 an hour. So,
right. How we
uh,
going? Are we gonna feed our kids
kind of
love,
pointless.
sunshine, and togetherness? Like, how's that supposed to
Yeah. We gonna be homeless.
go?
So I don't know how
No,
that's
there's
working
this
for
one
him, but
really
good
cute
luck.
couple on YouTube who
Um,
like they they react to like music or whatever, and like they're both so cute, they're so attractive, and they literally live in like their car. And I just be thinking, oh, you poor honeys.
no, but like legitimately, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're classist." First of all, I was born poor in the hood. Okay, so I'm not classist. I couldn't be. I've not left the middle class. This is as high as I've gotten. Um, but secondly, my broke ass isn't trying to have no kids. Why would I do that? Am I a sadist? Like, I mean, deliberately bring a child into the world so they could have the bare minimum of everything? What kind of
Right. Like
asshole does
y'all really
that?
just want them to
Why would I
struggle.
do that?
Like
And then secondly, I don't even want to have kids, so I'd be a super asshole. I'd be like, first of all, I don't like you. Plus, I'm poor. Your life's about to suck.
no, I would be terrible. Like,
Terrible. So
dude, once
terrible.
upon a midnight jury, I was pregnant for like 5 minutes. And I remember just thinking, yo, like we live in this house with all these roommates. One of his roommates was like making porn or something in the next room or whatever. Like, and you want to bring a who, what into
What?
where? Absolutely not. Like,
Mm,
and then he was selling weed. Let when
mm.
I imagine what my life looks like when social services walks through our door,
Oh no.
I'm gonna be in everybody's jail, y'all. Like, of
Yeah,
course we can't have no kids. What are you talking about, sir?
I got called many a lame for not wanting to be around men who are selling drugs and shit. I don't care. I refuse to ruin my life for what someone else is doing. That doesn't make sense.
Right, and at
You're
very
not
least it could
pulling
be
me
what
into
I
this
was
shit.
doing. So at least I'm putting some money in my
It,
pocket with all
well,
this risk.
if I'm going to jail, it's because I bet I've murdered someone. What the hell? I'm taking somebody out before I go to prison. Believe it. Might be somebody I don't even know. They're gonna be arresting me and someone's gonna catch some strays. on my way to the car because I'm gonna go to prison for a good reason. Believe it.
Right. I'm gonna
Not
be like, Kaya. Remember her smiling in the mugshots? Because whatever it is that I'm in jail
imagine
for,
going
I
to
did it and
jail
I meant
because your
it.
boyfriend's selling drugs. The way
And
I would
so
be
many chicks
tight.
are in jail behind stuff
Nah,
like that. So many. Like most
I
chicks are
would
in jail behind some
find
mess with
him
some
when I got
man.
out. That's not gonna be me. Never.
No.
Not a chance in hell.
Like that's such a crazy thing to do. And some of them even do it on
Absolutely
purpose. They
not.
take the rap for that man, which is
And then
really,
he cheats
man.
on them. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, what's her name? Well, she didn't take the rap for him. One of those like TV wife reality stars women. I feel really bad. People were mocking her, but I was like, I just feel bad for her. Her man was like in prison and she was like holding it down for him. She's on
Yandy
video like
off of Real House.
was it her?
Not
Was it
not Love and
Yandy?
Hip Hop. Yeah, Yandy and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
I feel bad for her. Like she
Yeah.
really loved him. She was at like she was doing protests outside of the jail, trying to get better treatment for the cellmates. She got maced in her eye and everything, like on camera in her eyes. And then when he came out of prison, they had this talk and I was just like, Why did he do this to her on camera? Like what kind of sicko sadist does this to her?" They were having a discussion and she was saying, she held enough for all of this and he was basically out like I wouldn't have done that for you. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Why did you have to say this to her on TV?
And why do you have to say it at all? Because for real, it's
At all,
already
but
done.
especially on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Especially
come
on TV, but
on.
also it's already done. Like, so we
Right.
it doesn't matter whether in theory you did this for her. In reality, she already did it for you, and here you
That's
are. So, like,
just
why say
so
that?
fucking, it's so mean.
It's
Ugh,
like he
like,
just had resentment
my
against her for
God,
doing this.
for being, for loving him. Yo,
Yeah.
men,
Somebody on Twitter was like, there's so many
men
men
be
who aren't
trying it,
used to
man.
being loved. And
This
I
is
was like,
why
no,
Snapped
there's men
is
who
a
are too
show.
used to being loved. They are too used to being loved and they take people for granted. Because a man who is not used to being loved, in my opinion, how they react to somebody surprising them with love is gratitude. So if you got a man who acts like you ain't did nothing because you love him, oh, he's real used to being loved. So used to it, take it for granted. It don't mean nothing. It ain't nothing. Like, no, don't believe that. Oh, he's acting like he don't appreciate my love because he's not used to love. Don't believe that when you hear it. Just like that's the kind of thing they say about people like Johnny Depp. And it's like, no, he's real used to being loved. Are you kidding me? Millions of people love him. He's got dozens of people on his staff that love him, or at least act like they love him. He's very used to
Mhm,
being loved. Somebody had the
mhm.
audacity to say, it's a shame nobody loved Johnny Depp enough to tell him the truth. Amber Laura Heard would disagree. So would like 20 of the people who testified that had gotten fired by him for trying to tell this man the truth. Do not baby this man and act like nobody cared enough about him to be truthful. No, people did. He just didn't give a damn. Like, I don't know why people like to baby men like this.
Um,
Nobody loved
in
Johnny
this
Depp enough.
very
No.
fucking trial, in this very trial, we saw some of the testimony, the parts they didn't get banned, of his former agent begging him to act right before he ruined his own career. And over and over and over and over and over and over, fucking over, he would show up to sets drunk,
His former
messing with
bandmate, the same
lines.
thing. He
People
tried to get him to cut back with the drugs, whatever. He was ruining his life. He's gonna ruin his relationship. He said that to him.
warned
Like,
him against these doctors who were using him for money and providing him like being his dealers basically. And
yeah,
like I can't. He was so bad he had to have an earpiece in his ear so he could get lines fed to him. That's known in Hollywood. There's literally a video of Jessica Chastain reacting to someone asking her about that. So it's not like it's a rumor. Literally, actors were
right.
told this. People were having interviews about this. Okay.
And so many
So
people were trying to
whatever.
tell him. Like, so many people. Like
I
his
can't.
money
No.
manager was like telling him, he's gonna have to, sell some property, cut back, maybe get into some other investments, curse this guy out, fired this guy, then sued this guy. said it was all his
Yeah.
fault. Like lots of people cared enough about this man to tell him the truth. Like I don't know why people have this incessant need to make up excuses for men that are just cruel.
This is why I'm sorry. No one can get me to be mad at beautiful women who use their beauty to get things. I don't care. Women, use what you have to get shit because this world is
Well, what they
trash.
don't have is male privilege. What they don't have is any of
You
that.
can
So there's a
you
lot we
can
don't have. All we can use
literally
is what we do
you
have.
you can literally look like an old crusty foot with earrings on, like Mr. Johnny Depp, and still have people on your side.
And
Okay?
still be playing sex symbols and
That's
stuff.
privilege. That's you
And
can
like you see those
literally
Dior Sauvage ads, like somebody pointed out, do you think a woman his age would be hired for that? Even if she had
absolutely
taken
not.
care of herself, you think Ellen
Hmm.
Barkin's going to be taking up a Dior Sauvage?
By the way, I just want to point out Sauvage is voted one of the most disgusting smelling colognes ever. Actually, I'm also mm, really baffled, I guess, why brands put out perfumes and colognes that smell bad and then get reviews for smelling bad and then they release it every year still.
I
I
don't know
just
why
think it's
you would
weird.
put out
But
anything called Sauvage, to be real.
my
Who the
my
hell wants to smell
assumption
like a
here is
savage? No,
that
thank you.
they probably cannot get anyone else to be on the face of that because the shit smells like ass. So that's my fan theory, okay?
Oh, that's
Um,
messed up to be in that position. But yeah, like where are the
you
women in
smelling
his age group
you
that are
s-
out here
he
doing
is
things?
selling ass juice in a bottle right now, so just
um,
something to think about.
and Miss Mama, Miss Michelle, yeah, I think, who just got that movie Everywhere All the Time, Everything All the Time,
Hmm.
Everywhere All at Once. Do you know she's like
Yes.
the oldest woman to star in an action movie? When I saw that, I could have fell out and
It's
died.
I guess she wasn't the star. I was gonna say Helen Mirren, but she was a co-star in like the Red
Yeah, but I mean like
series.
to be
Yeah.
the lead, like the
Yeah. No,
protagonist.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I was gonna
yeah.
say her, but then I remembered Helen Mirren she wasn't the star technically. He's actually stuck acting now. What's his name? Die Hard? Bruce Willis. It's funny, random aside, but the way like whenever I forget Bruce Willis's name, which isn't often, I just remember it by reciting that Nicki Minaj line from Your Love. If you leave me, I'm gonna die hard like Bruce Willis because
Oh.
I just think that's so funny. So that's how I remember his name.
Oh my gosh.
I just think
But
that's the
yeah,
funniest line. I found her very funny. She's unintentionally hilarious woman. But yeah.
yeah, it's messed up that like old men are out here doing it like this, and older women, even older women who are gorgeous, honey, are like not considered like it to be the star of a movie. Like the fact that this is the first time Michelle Yeoh has been the star of any movie, even though she's been in so many iconic movies, doing the thing for decades. Like I actually cried when I saw them say that because I was so upset at the concept that not one person in all of these years has seen fit to make her the protagonist of a damn movie. And then to find out once they finally do that they've never done this for an action film for another woman her age. The audacity of these movie people with their ageism towards women. We got so many 70-year-old male action stars out here doing whatever they do, but 50's too old for a woman. Like, I can't. It's hard to even wrap your head
Yeah.
around. Oh, and we're
That's
out of time.
crazy. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
I
Um,
know.
yeah.
That's
Hollywood is
it's
just a mess.
it's so
You're
unfair.
trying to tell me Johnny's more marketable than Amber. But you know what's funny? Even with all the privilege, his movies are still in the toilet. Like they tank.
Yeah. And no one's
They
watching it.
absolutely
Oh, and
tank.
by the
No one
way, even
cares.
that little French movie, it's not about him. It's about one of King Louis XV's mistresses. That's the title. The title is the name of one of his mistresses. So he can't even be the lead in the movie about Louis XV. The movie's actually about the side chick.